Mic check 1 2. I think I'm on. This is not the first time that I've done this, ladies and gentlemen. I do know that I look like a gentleman that's probably still using a BlackBerry, but I actually know what I'm doing. As I put on the name of the show, Hunger for Humor, Humor for Hunger, a stand-up comedy series in support of the food banks of Canada. I know, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably paid attention to what's going on in society today. We've had a bit of a pandemic, which caused a lot of people to be locked indoors for a long period of time. Some people, maybe you, maybe not you, but somebody you know, has been able to work and stack their cash because they had no ability to go out and spend it. So they were at home working from home, but there were some people that because of the nature of the job, the vocation, the career that they're in, maybe they weren't able to stack their cash. Maybe their job was shut down and they got laid off. There's so many different words that they use for it, but I guess you could just say they weren't making money. And because of that, the food banks of Canada have experienced somewhat of a surge in usage. So we came up with this comedy series to put some of our comedians to work and also to raise funds via donations from the good people of Canada, such as yourself, so that the food banks would have the ability to help these people out. Now, the people that helped put this together, I, your host, Mark Trinidad, I am joined on a weekly basis by Danish Anwar, another fellow comedian of the Comedy All-Stars. You see his logo up in the corner there, as well as Barry Uncovered. Yeah, you heard that one? Barry Uncovered. That's not anything untoward. They're a news agency they're talking about. Anyway, Barry Uncovered, as well as Canada's, I'm supposed to be able to push a button and be able to put them up. Canada's Top Mayor Award. Oh, it's on the screen already. See, this is how good and efficient I am at pushing buttons. Listen, I'm an old man. I know I look like the guy that was on Grizzly Adams. That's a reference for the older people. For the younger people, I look like somebody that shoots ducks, apparently. That's an old Asian couple told me. They saw me on Duck Dynasty, and I've never been on it. Anyhow, so that's the whole story behind this. So please, if you do have the ability to make donations, below you will see scrolling across the screen, you could donate directly at www.humour4hunger, the number 4hunger.com. That is humor, the number 4hunger.com. And we spell it the Canadian way, damn it. Humor, Humour, the number 4, because it was just like the other 4. Shut up, leave me alone, I'm an old guy. Okay. So I've handpicked a slew of comedians. Aren't you all happy? Aren't you all happy we're opening up now? We could do away with these shows and actually be standing in front of live people and telling jokes. I'm so looking forward to it. And these idiots that are in charge, listen, if you're going to open it up and let us back out after 16, 18 months, whatever it was too long. I live with my mother-in-law. So, you know, it's a long time. Anyway, if you're going to open it all up. Just open everything up. Stop doing this little tip of the iceberg. Just open up the little peep. We don't want the tip. We want the whole shaft, all right? Just let us out to this damn... I'm locked up too long, God damn it. I have 2 cats and a snake, and I want to kill all of them at this point. Why do cats always have to look at you with this condescending look like I feed you, you little... Anyhow, sorry. So anyway, I've been locked up too long. So I handpicked a slew of good Canadian comedy, not just good, great Canadian comedians to come here and donate their time so that you could have some enjoyment on your hump day. You don't go anywhere. You walk downstairs to work nowadays, you bastards. Why is it a hump day anymore? We have to change the branding on that. It's a fantastic day. You have no traffic. There's nothing for you to... Anyhow, sorry. So our first comedian... Oh, wait, before I bring your first comedian on, I do have to mention our sponsors. None of this would be possible without our great sponsors. So let me say something to our great sponsors. Where are my sponsors' names? First of all, let me highlight Stuart Esteen, LLP, barristers and solicitors. Now, listen, I don't know if you guys realize, but lawyers are important to have in your life. The only reason some people have bad jokes about lawyers is because they didn't work for you. When they work for you, they're shit ass good. Yeah, I had people owe me money, and one letter from my lawyer, money showed up. So I love my lawyers, as well as Infinity Printing Solutions. As a matter of fact, if I was good enough, I would have a proper way of showcasing their company instead of this overlay that I maybe I shouldn't have used the PNG version, and I should have had a banner one that you could see. Infinity Printing Solutions. They print better than Mark Trinidad. And of course, Lily Financial Group for financial retirement and estate planning. Listen, everybody knows their birth date. Nobody knows their dirt date. Make sure you get your financial system in order so that you can help out the people that you leave behind. Because I don't know if you realize, you're going to die. That's just fact. And of course, my good friends over at Mofat Mazda, zoom, get yourself into a quality, reliable car at Mofat's Mazda. Whoo! I think I got it all. If in the comment section, I think, yep. Look at this. See in the comment section, Mark, you are doing a really good job hosting. Sorry, I have bad eyesight. I'm stupid. Okay, let's go back to our show now. And what I'm going to do is get our show started. And our first comedian, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can take back off that comment there, even though they're saying good things about me. And I like that. Let me make sure that I put back up our overlay with all of our sponsors. Yes, our first comedian is an old man just like me and does comedy. I know he's an old man just like me and does comedy because I had performed for Yuck Yucks for many years and he was there before me. So if you think I'm old, wait till you meet my good friend, my hilarious good friend, Mr. Chuck Byrne. Everybody make some noise for Mr. Chuck Byrne.
Woo! Hey. I don't know if you technically could make noise in a digital comedy show, but I appreciate the effort.
Yes, we can.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks for really drilling down hard on my age. I think during this pandemic, I think if anything, my age is it's something that I probably think about a little bit too much as I sit at home and slowly turn to dust. It has been a tough pandemic for us Canadians, right? But thank goodness we live in a socialist country, right? Because the government stepped up with the old $2,000 a month, right? And I live in Toronto, so that easily covered upwards of like 80% of my parking, right? Now that me and the kids are living in the car, you really want to have a secure parking spot, really. Anything, right? I had to change a few of the settings on my Uber Eats profile, right? It's no longer just leave it at the front door. It's you got to come down to the ramp, and we're going to be at slot 35, right? There will be no tip. There will be. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'll just tell you right now on my profile, there's going to be no tip. Yeah, so whenever the lockdown started, that's how long I've been out of work. As long as they told me I wasn't allowed to work, it's been interesting because initially I tried to put a positive spin on the idea of okay, well you can't perform. What can you do? You can write jokes, right? So I sat down in front of the television and I started cranking out the jokes, and I got all sorts of jokes. The problem is it's been too long, right? You tell a Tiger King joke at this point, and people are like, Tiger King? Whoa, yeah, I remember that. Like the 90s, they were nuts, weren't they? It's like 1,000 years of Tiger King, right? Like last April, I wrote this joke about the meat truck. If I had told it then, the crowd would have carried me out of the room on their shoulders, declaring me the king of comedy. But now, you mentioned meat truck, and people are like, what, we have meat truck? Remember, they got the used meat from Walmart, and then guys had to pick through it before they fed it to the tiger. Oh yeah, meat truck. Right? There's no spring back. I need more spring back than that. There's too much time on it. And apparently, I've watched all of Netflix now. I've finished Netflix. I've watched all 26 Ted Bundy documentaries, which of varying degrees. I know more about Ted Bundy than the people who prosecuted him, which doesn't help really when you're locked in your house and you know everything there is to know about Ted Bundy. I've escaped from the second floor of my house now 3 times. The police in Utah, they just can't lock me up. It's just the way it is now. I'm living the life of Ted Bundy. And as soon as I'm allowed to leave the house, I'm probably going to start killing nurses, right? It's absolutely terrible. I don't want to do it, right? There's all these things I don't want to do. Like, I've been smoking pot, like you wouldn't believe. I have been smoking an incredible amount of marijuana, right? I mean, I don't want to smoke the marijuana, right? But I live in Canada, and it's the law now, right? The marijuana, right? So just locked in the house, smoking marijuana, watching Netflix. People are wondering, why is your mental health declining? I don't know. I'm doing everything right. The problem with Netflix is that they changed how television operates, right? You know, it used to be when I grew up, right? In olden times, when they made fridges and shades of like avocados and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of those fridges still running, by the way. All those fridges still running. You buy a fridge 5 years ago, probably already broke down. But if you got an avocado one with a big clink thing on the front of it, that thing's still running. That thing could still, in its lifetime, kill 8 to 10 children who wander into it by accident. Anyway.
Truth.
Anyway. I don't even know what I was talking about. That's what's going on with this pandemic. Netflix. Yeah. See, the way television used to work is you'd watch your program, right? And then at the end of your program, you'd go live your life for a week, right? You'd leave the house. You'd maybe do a little bit of laundry, right? Maybe raise your children, if that's your game, right? But now you can sit down in front of the television and watch like 156 episodes of a television program. And you wake up one day, and all of a sudden, you know, you look like this, and I'm covered in chip dust, and I got 138 Uber Eats receipts on my phone. What happened to my life? It's insanity. It's just too. They are polite. I appreciate the way that Netflix, every 3 or 4 hours, will just kind of come in with the "Would you like to continue watching?" Right, which is by far the nicest way anybody has ever asked me, "Are you asleep yet, fatso?" That's really what they're looking for. And most of the time it's like, no, I can go for another couple of episodes. Hey, I haven't completely memorized how Ted Bundy's opening argument yet. I could probably memorize that. I've mainly been trying to figure out ways to make money as a comedian who's not allowed to do his shows. I thought about doing like an OnlyFans thing, right? I could do one of them OnlyFans things, and then what happened is I kind of caught a glimpse of myself in kind of a 3/4 view coming out of the bathtub in the bathroom mirror, and I realized we are talking about a very narrow fetish market. If I do a OnlyFans, I mean that market, they'll pay through the nose, but I think we're probably looking at a very narrow market. Right? I'm looking to maybe cast a little bit of a wider net, right? Because it's about numbers, you know, it's about volume. So I figure what I might do is I could do one of the ASMR things, right? You know, that people like to watch there to relax. You know, it's like the soothing tones or images, and so I thought maybe I could do one of those, but I just do it for it'd be like me snoring, right? So it's not so much rhythmic as it is suspenseful, in that you know most of it's just me, you know, like most of it's like that, right? But then every once in a while, what'll happen is I'll just stop breathing for like a couple of minutes, right? And at that point, you're like, did he die? Did he finally die? I don't. And as soon as you think I'm dead, one of them big, huge bets, right? Oh no! Hey, settle your bets, everybody. You're still alive. So I figured I could do one of those for the ASMR, generate a little bit of income. There's a lot of things that I think that we've done very well as a country, Canada during the pandemic. I think I'm probably most proud of the. There has been no spike in child murders. There's been a huge spike in the discovery of child murders recently, but there has been no actual spike in current child murders. In fact, if you go over historically, we're at record low numbers right now on the child murder because of the church, right? And this is one of those opportunities in a comedy show where you're glad there's no real audience to ridicule you and start yelling. Because right now, what I just said, that would have been a moment in the show where everything took a vicious left turn, right? I mean, I was enjoying myself, this little monologue there about Netflix and whatnot, and then he brought up that thing with dead children, and hey, into the bottom we went, right? Which I imagine whoever the next comedian is who's performing is probably thinking, ooh, hey, sweet. I get to follow that child murder bit. I really hope, I really hope, really hope, really hope the audience sticks around for my set. I mean, this charming gentleman brought that topic up. But really, there has been, I mean, the amount of time that I've had to spend with my children, the fact that I haven't murdered them is kind of a miracle, to be honest with you. It's because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would never murder my children, right? But it does cross my mind, right? It crosses. In fact, I believe if you raise your kids and it never crosses your mind to kill your children, you're probably not spending enough time with your kids. That's the problem. You got to spend more time. You got to invest that quality time, right? And then you'll be like, oh man, I'm going to kill these little bastards. Right? Because initially, like I wasn't expecting a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week commitment. That's not what I signed up for, right? Because I think first 5 years the kids are alive, I got to take care of them. Right? I got to wipe their butts. I got to teach them the pleases and thank yous and whatnot. But then once they turn 5, right, government's problem for like 8 hours a day, right? And then they sleep 8 hours a day. You figure you get a job far enough away from home, that shaves a couple of more hours off the day. You're down to like 45 minutes a day and maybe a couple hours on the weekend. A little pat on the back, throw them in the pool type deal. But now I'm doing the 24/7 with the kids, and it's too much. It's too much. Actually, to be honest with you, it's been fun. Last May, what I did is I moved the Xbox from my bedroom down into the basement, and then when the kids followed it down there, I locked the door. And, I mean, there was some pounding on that door up until about mid-June last year, and then I haven't heard from them since. I assume they found the box of ramen, and they got the laundry sink and the hot plate, so they should be fine. Anyway, I should probably go check on them. It's been a pleasure. I don't know, talking to you, recording a video for you, performing for you. I don't know. It's really just more than anything. It's been a real pleasure to talk out loud and not be at directions about clearing your dishes or emptying the dishwasher. That's really what I'm looking for now. Is I'm looking to be able to do output that isn't about telling my kids to do something or thanking a driver for bringing me something from far away. So it's been a pleasure. I hope both, if you're able, you can donate some money to the food bank in Barrie. Now more than ever, people need a little bit of help. And I would like you more than anything, more than even perhaps donating to the food bank, we could remember, that I made a child murder joke and it was completely inappropriate and I really shouldn't have done that. All right, I'm gonna give it back to Mark now. Thanks, Mark.
Y'all give it up for Chuck Byrne. Chuck Byrne. That's a man there, damn it. And he actually Chuck made me think. I really have to think about that too. Us people of the older generation, we always complain about the younger kids and how things have changed and how we had it harder and all of these wonderful things that we like to bitch and whine about. But you know what I just realized? Back in my day, when my parents were raising me, they actually had to raise me. Like they had to be involved and participate. Of course, usually it's with the backhand and knuckles and stuff. There was a lot of this involved. But parents nowadays can just give their kids an iPad and let the internet raise them. You really do have it a lot easier than we did. I just realized that. Thank you very much, Chuck, for letting me realize that, yeah, they have it better than we did with raising children. Just give them, high speed internet and the work is done. There's not much participation anymore. This is, and 9 out of 10 times you see them on their phones while they're at the playground with the kids. They don't raise kids no more. The internet does. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Byrne, for allowing us to participate in the assistance of of your rambling, just like I just did. And now what we will do is move on to our next comedian. And our next comedian, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I also saw this next comedian in the early starts of her career. And I have the opportunity to be able to say later on in life, I remember when. Yes, because this young lady has performed not only for Just for Laughs and opened for the great Canadian legend Jerry D himself, but she has her own podcast. Yes, young people don't have radio shows, they have podcasts that they don't even need any equipment for. They record it on their phone and put it up on the YouTubes and all this. What? I wish they'd tie those tubes. Anyway, she has her own podcast, All Good with Juliana Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the great and talented Juliana Rodriguez.
Wow. Thank you guys for having me. Just like another round of applause for Mark and just doing the good deed for everybody here today and organizing this whole event. That was amazing. Thank you for the intro. I love when people roll my R's. It just makes me sound like way more ethnic than I am. It's just like
Rodriguez.
jokingly white. Yeah. But it's good to be here. Yeah. I guess I'll just dive right into it. I mean, this has been a weird year for everybody. I have been like ramping up the therapy for sure, but I actually had to stop seeing my therapist recently because I discovered he has a flip phone. And I feel like seeing a therapist who owns a flip phone is just like the blind leading the blind in terms of mental health. You know what I mean? Like, I can't trust anything you say. You're clearly in a very dark place yourself right now. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not great. And I found out because we were like halfway through a session and he was like, oh, I have to go soon. My flip phone is about to die. I was like, am I your only client? Like, what is that? Please tell me right now you're seeing other people and not living off my $150 a month. This is crazy. But like, imagine getting an email from your therapist being like, better luck next time, everyone. Looks like I spent a little bit too much time playing Snake this morning. Hopefully I'll talk to you next week if I don't decide to download a new ringtone or something. I feel like it's a bit psychotic. I got some moles removed during the pandemic, which was interesting. I got moles removed from my back. And while it was happening, the doctor just casually told me he didn't think COVID was real, which is insane. Obviously, that's insane for obvious reasons. But like, my biggest concern is like, what did I do wrong to make you feel comfortable enough to tell me that information? You know, like, just because you know my disgusting secret doesn't mean I need to know yours. Okay. Like, this is not a tick for tat situation. You know, like, my shoulders are relaxed so you can do your job, not because I find your goatee trustworthy. Okay. You know, and it did suck, right? Just from like an argument standpoint, like if we start arguing, he clearly has all the power, you know? Then my fear shifts from like, he's just going to rearrange my moles in the shape of a vaccine with a microchip in it or something, you know? Like, he's just going to use this as an opportunity to illustrate one of his conspiracy theories on, for whatever reason. Like, I removed the Band-Aid and 2 weeks later, just as like 9/11 was an inside job across my back. That would be incredible, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to change the topic, bring up another ailment, see what happens. So I was like, do you have any tips for someone with flat feet? I could use some orthopedics. He's like, why do your feet need to be curved when the earth isn't? I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll accept any conspiracy theory if it saves me money. That sounds fine. Interesting. Mark introduced me. My name is very long. My full name, guys, Juliana Maria Rodriguez, which is way too many syllables. I feel like it has too much personality for someone that looks like if Old Navy became a person. You know what I mean? Like that's just my general vibe, or like a drunk high school principal type of thing, you know? But I asked my mom recently about this name. I was like, oh, how'd that come to be? And she's like, it's real simple. You actually have a really common European name. What happened is I'm Italian and your dad is Portuguese. And because of that, we're getting a divorce. It's weird. It's like you have 10 minutes to say goodbye to everything you know and love. Enjoy the rest of your life. My parents are divorced. I don't know if anybody else here has low self-esteem, known as the comedians.
Yep.
Sounds good. My parents divorced when I was 14, which is a weird age. I don't think you should be a teenager when that happens because you just end up getting dragged into everything. Like your parents just register you as like a fully grown adult, you know, which you're not. Like my parents actually made me set up their online dating profiles, which was a real thing. Yeah, that actually happened. I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Nothing says divorce like having to crop each parent out of the same profile picture. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Do a nice little swap. Do you know how psychotic you have to be to turn to your 14-year-old daughter and be like, do you mind turning your mom into a dark shadow in this photo?
Oh, that's hilarious.
You need to you didn't come with us to the Mandarin on your birthday, if that's okay. It's weird. My mom did join the dating apps, and she actually would call me into the room to have my opinion on some of the guys that she matched with. And it was pretty intense. They were all just like walking, talking red flags from like Sarnia, Ontario. You know, I'm like, this is who you want me to call dad? A guy whose username is Sausage Slammer 69. This is what makes sense, you know? Just an earnest wow from Mark. That's incredible. It's amazing. This is actually a GoFundMe for my life. This whole thing, actually, this is. I deserve financial compensation for what I've been through. But it's just weird. My mom is doesn't have great taste. You know, she's like, he's got nice eyes. I'm like, he's wearing a tap out t-shirt. Let's find some new bachelors. You know what I mean? It's weird. I did come from like a pretty intense household. Both my parents are very young spirited, which I feel like is the reason I didn't do many drugs in like high school or college. Like I never smoked weed. I didn't really drink. I don't know if you can tell. And it's just because my parents did growing up, and that just made it really not seem cool. Like I remember being in high school and all my friends would gather outside at parties to like smoke and like do drugs and just being like, you guys remind me of a 49-year-old woman with a mortgage. You know what I mean? Like there's no mystery here. There's nothing cool. Like, how is this fun? What are you going to do next? Order a bunch of laser hair removal kits from the shopping channel? You know? Like, this is just the thing that you do before new cutlery is ordered to the house. That's just my interpretation. It's weird. Interesting. My parents met when they were in high school, which I feel like is off-putting. I don't know if there's any high school sweethearts watching tonight that are in a toxic relationship at the moment. My parents met when they were too young. And I don't think you should get married in your early 20s. I think that's insane. And I didn't realize how big of an issue that would be until I entered my early 20s. And now I have friends that are getting engaged, and it's just off-putting, you know? Like I have a friend that's 24 and just got engaged. I'm like, that's how old I am. And we just stopped playing The Floor is Lava 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, does grounders not mean anything to you anymore? Like, you're not above that, you know? It's weird. I didn't even know how to be happy for it. I was like, the only time you should marry the same person you've been dating since you were 14 is if you're from a small town and this is the only cousin you don't look related to. Then it makes perfect sense, you know? Just off-putting. And to make it even more delusional, you guys, true story, they were actually in therapy 2 years before they got engaged, which is...
What?
Yeah, wow. It's crazy. I'm like early 20s couples therapy. Like, what did they make you do? Just sit down, play Mario Kart. Whoever comes in first place wins the argument, I guess. I don't know. It's just not. Just as a general rule of thumb, you should not be in couples therapy if you are young enough that it's still covered by your parents' insurance plan. You know? Wow. That's what I think. Just like... across the board in general. I I couldn't imagine getting married at this point in my life. Dating is hard enough. It's really weird. Just before the pandemic happened, I was at a bar and this guy came up to me and he was also in his early 20s and he's like, "You seem like you could ruin my life. I'm into it." That's just all he said.
Wow.
I was like, "You live in downtown Toronto with roommates. What life do you have for me to ruin? You know? You want me to break into your basement apartment and shred your Harvey's gift cards? Is that what you want me to do?" You know? It's just very disappointing. I couldn't. Ruining a guy's life now is just too easy. It's not satisfying. I would love to ruin a guy's life in like the 1800s, you know, when they actually had shit for you to ruin. Like Carrie Underwood has this song about like carving your name into his leather seats. It's like, no, it's like, I want to spell my name in flames across your entire cornfield, Jebediah. That's what I want to do. You know, take a brick to the horse-drawn carriage you inherited from your grandfather. That's truly ruining someone's life, you know? And now it's just not even satisfying. I just looked at this guy. I was like, if you want a woman to ruin your life, just ask your mom to take you off her e-transfer auto deposit. You know? Real simple. Make it very inconvenient for you. I once a year, I don't know if anybody here has grandparents. Once a year I spend a weekend at my grandparents' house just to like chill and catch up. And it's always a mistake. I hate doing it. It's hanging out with old people is not fun. I was like, why hang out with 3 25-year-olds when I could just hang out with one 75-year-old? Maybe I just thought it was efficient. I don't know.
Yeah.
And when I stay at somebody's house, sometimes I'll bring a salt lamp, which is definitely like a white woman's problem. Like that's how you know you're a young white woman who's entitled. You have to bring a salt lamp to people's houses to sleep. But it's true. I brought this salt lamp to her house because it helps me sleep, which freaked her out. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a large crystal lamp made out of salt, and you just like turn it on to let everybody in your house know that you skipped therapy that week. That's just the big indicator. And right away, my grandma just like went on about how like all young people have anxiety and like this rock is useless. And it's like, maybe it is useless. Okay. But it made me understand that every generation has anxiety. It's just over something different that's so unique to their time. Right. So I was like, you know what? I can't blame her for that. You know, it's like maybe this salt lamp makes me seem like a witch, but you douse yourself in holy water when the cashier at Metro has a lip ring on. You know what I mean? And then you buy imitation crab sandwiches, which is just equally psychotic. I feel like just on the same level. One thing I do miss from this pandemic is going to the spa. Don't know if anybody did that, used to do that. Spas, I do miss them a lot, but looking back, I'm like, that is disgusting. Like spas are just the ultimate unsanitary, the worst thing that you could possibly do.
True.
In terms of germs, for sure, right? Because like, what is it? It's just a bunch of people humming their favorite song and slowly pissing themselves in a hot tub. Like that's all that going to the spa is. But I used to go with my mom, and she would take me every year for my birthday. And for one of my last birthdays before we went into the pandemic, it was really interesting. I feel like I have this theory that you should never be around your parents when they're like too relaxed, you know? Like you should never be in a relaxed setting with your parents because they just say things that are insane and then you don't know how to recover from it. Like I was sitting across the hot tub from my mom and she's like, you know, when you were born, they used a surgical vacuum to get you out.
What?
Yeah, I got the surgical vacuum. I was like, I don't even know what that means. And I was like, I came here to relax, okay? Not to find out the real reason I'm not a hat person, okay? That has been my time. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I'm going to go take some melatonin to go to sleep.
Juliana, look, you've ruined spas for Dawn. She said, thank goodness she made one in her own backyard. See, look at what you've done. These damn millennials always just spoiling things for the rest of us. That's excellent work once again. Juliana, I'm going to put you up on screen. Come back on. Okay, wait. Let me see if I could. I'm going to have Sterling on the screen at the same time. Sterling, I want you to. Oh, no, we can't do it like this. Okay, hold on. I'm putting. Sterling, watch this. Doesn't that door behind Juliana look like she's hiding Dobby in it? Look at the tiny little door. That's not a real door, is it? That's not a real door. Is that the platform 9 3/4? What is that little door about?
Yeah, that's it's a little door. It's a little door. It's where I keep all my secrets and all my crystals and all of my salt lamps.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so another question from the interwebs.
Yeah.
They want to know: are those socks hanging on the wall?
No, these are not thought. Who wrote this? Did a 75-year-old man from Aurelio tune in tonight? No, these are not socks. This is called macrame, okay? And it is very trendy, very popular. These are not socks. They're not socks.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's
Participating. What are those socks? Are you trying to fight? Somebody is.
You trying to fight?
don't fight with the people of
love
Barrie.
it.
They know how to fight with bottles. They're wonderful. Thank you very much. The spicy Juliana Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen, with her hidden dobby door and the socks on her. This is why y'all don't know, but I specifically emailed everybody and I told them, these people are dangerous. They look at the background. Don't be leaving shit in the background. That I have a light in my background. I don't turn it on because it looks like the sun, because I'm stupid. I didn't get a good one. Anyway, so that was Juliana Rodriguez, and prior to that, there was Chuck Burner as well. Now would be a good time for me to once again thank our sponsors. Our sponsors, Stuart Eston, LLP, barristers and solicitors, because you always need to have a good lawyer in your life. And I'm not just talking about one to help you get rid of baggage like an ex-wife or an ex-husband or a child that you no longer want. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you need lawyers in your life, because sometimes people try to take advantage of you, and a good lawyer can help fix that for you. So go visit my friend Stuart Eston, LLP, barristers and solicitors. And if you need to get anything printed in a quality manner, which obviously I didn't do. I just grabbed a PNG and I stuck it on the screen, and I'm ashamed, but I'm an old guy, so forgive me. Infinity Printing Solutions. If you need anything printed in a quality manner, please visit my friends Infinity Quality Solutions. And Lily Financial Group, financial retirement and estate planning. Listen, as I've said to everyone, you know your birth date, you don't know your dirt date. So look, now I'm being harassed. Oh no. Now they want to see, Mark, I want to see you turn on the light. Stop it, you people. I'm not turning on no damn light. I told you the light looks like crap when I turn it on. Okay, so listen, the reason that we are here is because we are doing comedy to elicit or solicit funds from you, the good people. And I know this is live right now, and you can go directly to Humour, spelt in the Canadian way, H-U, it's right on the screen, you idiot. Why can't you just, okay, Humour, the number 4, hunger.com or .ca, because we are Canadian and we grab that domain as well. Go directly there and donate directly to the food bank. I wanted to tell you that in these 4 weeks that we've been having the show, myself and Danish Anwar, we alternated as to who was the MC. So he got the first week and the third week. I got the second and the final week tonight, the fourth week. I got the second and the fourth. Now, I don't know if you guys know Danish, but he's born in Russia. He's a bit of a terrorist anyway. So the point of the matter is Danish, listen, he was born, literally, he was born in Russia. Don't specifically look like he was born in Russia. He's been kicked out of more countries than the Ebola virus, okay? This kid has said that his people are going to raise more funds than my people. You watching right now, you are one of my people, you are my team. And here's what I've asked everybody on my team to do. When you donate and put a number 4 in it. Just, you know, whether it be $4, $44, $444, whatever, just put the number 4. That way I know it's from one of my people, and then I could total it up and rub it in his face that I whooped his ass again. right? It's not that I have an ego or anything like that. Okay, I have a bit of an ego and I want to win. But the people at the food bank win. They're the ones that win. It's just me and my guy. We got this little thing going on. That didn't come out right. And now we will move on to our next comedian, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Sterling. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sterling?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Oh,
I'm
wait a
with you
minute.
too.
Hold on a second. Somebody just Dawn said $4,000. Yes, that's also a number that has the number 4 in it. I don't know.
Don.
I
I like
hey,
Don's attitude.
I have no problem with that. Dawn's a good person. I think we could. Yeah, we could do 4,000. And this is Canadian money, my Jamaican friends, not 4,000 Jamaican. We can't buy a loaf of bread with that. Just wanted to let you all know the exchange rate is important. Okay. Sterling, did you read the news about this guy called Ziona Chana, who the head of the world's largest family? Did you hear about that? Did you see that in the news?
Yes, I heard he passed away and left behind the largest family.
Yes, 38 wives.
Wow.
38 what? Yeah,
I know a Jamaican guy that has just as many baby mothers.
Okay, I don't want to talk about that no more. What is wrong with you? Anyway. I don't want to say something stupid like, and get kicked off and canceled like you people, right? But come on, man. What are you doing? One wife, one mother-in-law. See the balance? Something good. What are you doing with 38 mother-in-laws? Are you out of your mind? How could you satisfy 38 wives? You stupid idiot. These are the kind of people that think with their little, you understand what I'm saying? Like, 38 wives thinking of sex. No, you can't satisfy one. How are you going to disappoint 38? You're a madman. Anyway, sorry. I'm a happily married man for the past 30 years. And, I don't know how you could do. I have one mother-in-law that I would love to introduce to, what's the name of the people that take care of dead people?
All right.
When I say take care of, I mean, I want to introduce them because she's single and I would like her to move out.
Yeah.
Walking, preferably.
You're going to go from the basement to the couch, man. That's where you're going to go with that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian. I've known for a very long time. As a matter of fact. He and I have the same heritage. This is a heritage moment. Mr. Sterling Scott is a very wanted man. Sorry, not wanted. What I meant to say, he is signed. He is signed by Crave. You all know the little app thing where you watch all the shows? He's signed by Crave. He's also signed by Kevin Hart's LOL network. So the boys making money. By the way, Sterling, that 20, anyhow. And he's on his way, actually, next month to film a special for Amazon. This boy is making bank! And he and I once shared a drive together in the wonderful province of Alberta. And we watched the, what's the thing, the Northern Lights? We watched the Northern Lights together. And that was the day that I told him, I'm going to buy you a phone holder for your car because you're supposed to be holding on to the steering wheel while driving, not hanging out, pointing at the Northern Lights. Can you see it? Can you see it? Ladies and gentlemen.
That's true.
Please welcome Mr. Sterling Scott.
First off, I want to say to all of you that are watching right now that the laws were different at the time and you were allowed to hold your cell phone in your hands.
Whatever. Liar.
And I also would like to say that my background, as you can see, is wood paneling because I'm performing apparently in the basement of one of Juliana's ex-boyfriends. So I don't know what it's like. Something about wood paneling in the background of your basement just says that racist comments were down here at one point in time. You know what I mean? Like, there's some wood. Now,
you like wood?
I know this is a very interesting time, people. This is a very interesting time. At the beginning of the pandemic, I weighed 198 pounds. And now today I weigh 165 pounds. And people say, oh my God, Sterling, what did you do? Did you work out? Was it keto? I was like, nah, poverty. That's what it was. See, everybody's thinking like that CRB money is a lot, but let me break down CRB. It's $1,800. My mortgage is $1,750. My car insurance is $250. My cell phone bill is $200. I have child support payments, and I smoke weed. Where do you see time for food? There's none. I'm dying out here. And I thought to myself how crazy this time was. I mean, realistically, have you ever thought you would live through a time so detrimental that religion itself would be shut down? That's right, people. Remember when COVID began, the institutions of religion itself was shut down. Religion was closed. Weed stores still open. Religion shut down. Liquor store got a line around the block. And I thought to myself, this was crazy, but then it made sense. Because unlike religion, COVID is real. So I know right now there's a few people watching the show like, he's going to go to hell. Yeah, not with COVID, I'm not. Tested
not
negative.
without me.
Okay.
I come in.
I got to look at all the things that COVID took from us. Let's take a walk for a minute. My older people, did you guys remember candy? You know, COVID took candy from us. Remember Jawbreakers? Remember that delectable, delicious little candy you had as a child? For those of young people who don't know, Jawbreakers were giant pieces of rock that you would hold in your mouth for 6 to 7 days, and then it would possibly change its color. Remember those good days? You would take it out, shove it in your mouth, and then you go to school. You give it to your friend. Hey, suck on this. Get this to another color. They would pop it in their mouth, and they would suck on it for a few colors. And we didn't have a container. We didn't have a package to put this away. You would just store it in your pocket. That was it. You would just take the thing and put it in your pocket. And where was the safekeeping? In your sock drawer. For some reason, you used to keep the good candy in the sock drawer because the socks are obviously the cleanest ones. And then we also lost birthdays. That's right. We lost birthdays. Remember what would happen on your birthday? You would have a bunch of your loved ones gathered into a house, and they would all stand around tightly, close together. And then you would come out, and someone would have a cake, and it would have candles on it, symbolizing your birth age. And then they would put it down in front of all these people, and they would sing. Yeah, they would breathe heavily over your cake, saying, "Happy birthday to you." And after they were finished that, what did you do? What did you do? Then you blew out the candles on your cake. You went, and then you sliced it up and ate it. If you did that in 2021, that's your last slice of cake. You ain't gonna make it in 2022. COVID took our birthdays away. But then I start looking at what are the positive things. Like that's what I said. Look, what are the positive things that has happened during COVID? My first comes to thought is close talkers are illegal. Yeah. Did you ever think about that? Never in the history of our lives have we had the capacity to tell a close talker to get out of our face without sounding like bad people. Now we can do that because you couldn't do it before. You ever tried to get rid of a close talker? You take one step back, they take 2 steps forward. You offer them gum, they decline. There was no way to get away from close talkers. Now they get within 2 meters of you and it's like you going to jail. And I hate close talkers because I do a lot of comedy shows, and after comedy shows, I meet the worst close talkers in the world. Drunk people. Yeah. Drunk people are the worst close talkers because they don't ever want to do something regular. They always want to tell you a secret. Yeah. They always want to tell you a secret. They don't whisper this secret delicately in your ears. No. You always want to shout it in your face. And there's always a lot of S's and P's in the conversation. I was in Grand Prairie, and I finished the comedy show, and I know this guy was drunk. I tell you why, people, because he was standing outside looking like a Mortal Kombat character waiting for a finishing move. He was like, get over here. I was like, no. But he was aggressive. And he ran over and he grabbed me by the back of my neck and he goes, your comedy is very special. Because when he said special, I could see the spit bubbles arc. I can see it leave his mouth. And it landed on my lips.
Ew.
Yeah. These are 3 inches round, people. And I'm so Canadian, I didn't want to make him feel bad for the situation. So while he was talking, I just licked my lips.
Ew. Ugh.
At night, I can still taste him. I can still taste him.
Oh.
And that's why I don't like those close talkers. You know what else I don't miss? I don't miss going to bars and having to deal with these people that are, not the nicest. Because let's be realistic, people, look at me. I stand out in bars in Alberta, okay? And I was in one bar enjoying a beverage after a show, as I do. And this guy wanted to start a fight with me. And he actually rolls up on me and he does that thing. Guys, you know what I'm talking about when I say this? That thing when guys bump you with their shoulder and then try to make it look like you're the one trying to start the fight. This guy literally runs into me and goes, oh, what's going on, bro? Huh? What's going on? Nah, bro, I'm chapped. You hear me, bro? I'm chapped. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am 39 years old. I ain't got no time to be fighting with no idiot in no bar. But I was born and raised in Scarborough, Ontario, and I'll be damned if I let somebody talk to me like that. I looked that boy straight in his face and I was like, listen to me. This is what's going to happen next. See, I'm going to go to my car. And all I'm saying is you better not be here when I get back. And then I went to my car and I drove home. I got parent-teacher interview in the morning. I ain't trying to get punched in the face. I don't know what you guys think this is. This is a nice shirt. I am not trying to get that messed up. Now, that's true. I am a father. I have 3 kids. 3 kids and I'm single. That's terrible for your resume. It is. It is. Because when you have 3 kids and you're single, every time you meet a lady and you tell her, I have 3 kids and I'm single, she immediately knows 2 things about you. That you have commitment issues and a weak pullout game.
Damn.
And you're absolutely right. I don't even pull out of my driveway. I come in, I come out. That's how I roll. Having children is a beautiful thing. Because when you have children, it's the first time in your life that you stop living for yourself and you start living for somebody else. And I love my children, but I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I don't care what y'all tell me. I love them, but I don't hang out with them. Being a parent is the only job that everybody wants to have, but nobody wants to show up for. I can promise you that. And it's difficult during the regular times because I would be out all the time traveling. And my son, he would ask me, hey, daddy, are you going away again? And I'd be like, yeah. He said, you going away for a long time? And I say, yeah. And he would ask me, can I hold your hand and walk you to the car? I say, yeah. And as we're walking to the car, he would start asking more questions. And he asked me, hey, daddy, who is your bestest best friend? I was like, damn, that's a deep question. Have you guys ever thought about that? Who is your bestest best friend? I was like, I don't know who my bestest best friend is. Who's your bestest best friend? And he looked up at me and he said, me and you, daddy. Me and you. I was like, son, You're not even in my top 5. Like, you suck. Like, you don't drink, you don't drive. Shut up. You're a dependent. That's what you are. You are a dependent. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand that you guys coming and enjoying this show is amazing, and I thank you guys so much for it. Like I said, I do have 3 kids. I also have twin girls. Yeah, twin girls. They don't even look the same. One of them is light skinned, and the other one has bad credit. Now,
who caused that?
If you thought that the one with bad credit was dark skinned, you're right, but you're also racist. Anyways, you guys have been a phenomenal crop of people. I hope you are. Please make sure you guys donate for the Humor for Hunger. And if you guys enjoyed the show, please give me a follow at Sterling's Jokes, as you see on the screen. I thank you guys. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you out in the real world. Stay safe. My name is Sterling Scott, and I'm out of here.
Yo, listen, that guy is too funny, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mr. Sterling Scott. Remember his name. Remember Chuck Byrne. Remember Julianne Rodriguez, because these are names that are going to be going all around Canada. Hopefully on TV too, but Canadian TV, let's be real. Social media beats it any day, hands down. Anyhow, that's been, a great night of comedy. All so that we could beg you people for money. How about you donate to the food banks of Canada? Because, things have been tough, as you know, for them, for some people around the world. But here, specifically, we want to help out the food banks of Canada. We're shopping local or something like that. Anyhow, so please donate at Humour4Hunger.com and help me beat my good friend Danish Anwar. When you donate, please put something that has a 4 in it. That way I know you came from me at HUMOUR, the number 4hunger.com or .ca. And let me once again thank the sponsors of our show and the people that helped put this together. Barry Uncovered. Thank you very much for approaching us to help you in this endeavor, as well as Canada's Top Mayor Award. Bring your A game, people. And our lovely sponsors, Stuart Esteen LLP. We couldn't have done this without you. We thank you profusely. Infinity Printing Solutions. None of this would be able to have been done without you guys, as well as Lilly Financial Group for your financial retirement and estate planning, as well as Mofats Mazda for helping support this show as well. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the comedians, and thank you. Oh, look at that. They said I was a stellar host. See, I just wanted to let you guys know that I feel good about myself. And that's me. I am Mark Trinidad, as you see on the screen. I am Mark Trinidad. You can find me on all social media if you check me out. Instagram, Tickety Tuckety, Facebook, and all of those kinds of things. The things that young people like. I'm on there somewhere. So once again, thank you very much. This has been our 4th week. It's our final week. I'm going to miss you. I'm not going to miss pushing these buttons and the anxiety that I had for the entire time trying to figure out if I was doing this damn thing right. But, it was a very learning experience. I mean, I learned that you could have a mortgage of $1,750. I wish my mortgage was that low. I don't know what kind of hostel Sterling is living in with a mortgage of $1,750, but whatever. Mine's about, maybe I have bad credit and he has good credit. That could possibly be it as well too. How does he have better credit than me? This is racism. See, this is why I should never put my wife to the front. I should have done it because I have glasses. Anyhow, that's it for us tonight. I know this wonderful show is going to be held onto the interwebs thingy, and people could play it at a later time. And if you can play it at a later time and you're not seeing it live, please, you can still donate at Humour4Hunger.com or .ca. Please help the people that need the help right now, because you're Canadians and internationally you are known for ones to go and help people. You know, you're not invading countries. You tend to go there, and that's why they call you peacekeepers. You help with keeping the peace. And if you could reach into your pocket and pull out a little piece and donate to Humour for Hunger. See, I keep tying this in. That is the end of our broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And they're still begging me to turn on the sign. I'm not turning on the sign. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody.